guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a Halloween tutorial on poison ivy. So my husband has been watching Gotham on Netflix, and this last episode had poison ivy. I've always loved poison ivy, and I was like, oh wait, let me do that. I actually have, so as you can see behind me, I actually collect little Funko Pop characters, and I actually have a little poison ivy one. And she's just so cute. I love everything about her. So if you'd like to see me transform into her, just keep watching. Okay, so the most important part before you start any Halloween look, period, is to have a good base. So I'm going to go in and prime my skin to get ready for all this makeup we're about to put on it. At first I'm going in with this Tarte mermaid skin that you just saw in my, I think it was my last video actually. I like it. It's very tacky, so it really helps to hold anything on your skin. So I'm going in with that. And I'm also going in with the Clinique Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly. It's also a gel-like consistency because you don't really want oily because you don't want the stuff to slip around, but you do need it to be hydrated. So I'm going right in with that. And you do want to prep your skin first because it needs to have time to really absorb before you get to your skin, because I'm actually going to be doing kind of a more glam look, I guess you could say, on this poison ivy spin. So you do need a little bit of, so I'm going to do my eyes first. So now I'm going in with a little bit of MAC Strobe Cream, and I'm just going to apply this to the high points of my face just to give it that natural highlight underneath when we go in with a foundation in a little while. I love how MAC Strobe Cream smells, and it's very, very hydrating as well. Okay, so first we're going to go in with eyebrows. And when I think poison ivy, I think, you know, she has red hair, I think, in the original. This one has like a reddish tint to her. I'm using her kind of as a little inspiration, just sitting here on my desk. So I obviously do not have red hair. I did not want to get a wig, so what I am doing is I'm going to attempt to make red eyebrows with the Jeffree Star Red Rum and the Coral Fixation liquid lipsticks, and we will see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to do these eyebrows, and I feel like this is fixing to take forever. So I'm going to put on a video over here and just time-lapse it so that way you can see what I do to my eyebrows. Make sure you keep plenty of makeup wipes on deck, and I'm pretty sure that this red is going to stain my skin. So keep that in mind when you're doing Halloween looks, that skin staining is very, very possible. We're going to set that in place with my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, because I don't really, well, you know what, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But I don't want my actual brow hairs popping out. Eyeshadow, I'm going to be using a couple different palettes. I'm going to go in with a couple of Morphe palettes, maybe my Z palette, and I think I want to use the Dose of Colors green that's in here. That one that I fell in love with in my last video. Why am I out of focus? Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in this shade Eden. Look at my eyebrows.
That's crazy.
Just this lipstick.
That's crazy.
It's going to stain my skin.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm just setting that in. Let me see what this is. This shadow is just a skin tone shade. It's Vanilla Bean by Makeup Geek. Alright, so actually I think I'm going to go in with a warmer color in my crease at first, just to kind of set down as a base. So I'm going to go in with this peachy shade from the Dose of Colors palette and just buff that into my crease. Okay, so now I'm going in with a lighter green shade from the Morphe 35B palette, and I'm just going to buff this into the crease and make sure to keep it just a little bit below that peachy shade. Okay, and now I'm going in with a deep dark green from the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to very precisely place this into the crease. I'm not going to take it up as high as the other green, but I'm going to buff this in to the crease as well. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this Envy eyeshadow by Makeup Geek. It's a really dark emerald. And I'm just going to pack that on my lid, but then I'm going to use this one as more of a highlight so you can really see it real good. So I'm going to just pack this on. Okay, so I'm going to go in and blend that, just the edges, so that way it's all one color. And I kind of like to take a little bit of that shadow originally and just kind of pop that over into the crease as well. So that way it really just is smoked out. I go in with that color from the Dose of Colors palette and barely pack it on, just to give the eye a little bit of shimmer. Alright, so I'm going to go in with that Cover FX primer just to really make sure all of my pores are filled in. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Almond, just because this is my ride or die foundation. I know it's full coverage. I love it. I'm going to go in with it. When you're doing your foundation, though, for any kind of Halloween makeup, you want to make sure you go in light layers, just because you don't want to get cakey, because since we are going to be layering, you know, like rhinestone crystals, all that kind of stuff on here, they still have to have something to stick to, and if you have too much on, it will not stick. That looks pretty full coverage. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy in the shade Chantilly. You have to be very careful when you're blending around the red eyebrows, because they will start to turn pink if they mix with any of your creams, and we don't want that. You need to make sure that you set your skin very well, because if not, these shadows are not going to blend. So I'm going to take my Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal setting powder and a big fluffy brush like this. I usually use this for blush and bronzer, but I'm going to take this today and just set everywhere very lightly. Okay, so now I think what I'm going to do is go in on my lower lash line and go ahead and finish off the eyes, and then come back and do the green just in case I have any more fallout, because I would not want fallout to ruin anything else I'm doing. I'm going to actually go in with the Marc Jacobs highliner, the black one. Yes, the black one. And I'm just going to tight line my eyes in black, just to give it that more sultry, smoky look. And this does not have to be precise. I'm about to smoke it out anyways. I'm going to go in with the peachy shade first. And put that down as a transition base kind of thing. And that was actually fixing to link up that green transition shade up top. Okay, now I think I'm going to go in with my pencil brush. And I'm going to go in with that bright red and just hope it's pigmented enough. Oh yeah. Okay, now that the red's on there, I'm going to go in with my lashes. Go ahead and apply those. The lashes are on. Now, time for the fun part. I actually place these right above my eyebrows because they kind of look like eyebrows. So I'm just going to take and place this. Actually, I'm going to take and pull off this one on the end right here because it's a little too much. Let's see how that looks now. Place it there. Go up. You know, she's got those little things, but it still looks kind of cool. Okay, now I've got these red ones. Actually, let me do something else real quick. I'm going to go in with my Makeup Forever palette and go in with that white shade. This is the Artist palette. I've had this for literally forever, but I'm going to go in with that white and tuck that right here on this inner corner just to make it super bright and white. Okay, now I'm going in with my Naked Cosmetics. This is the Holographic Highlighter Collection palette. There's a green highlighter in here right here, and it's like kind of like that Kat Von D Alchemist kind of thing. And I'm just going to put that right over where I just put that white because it gives it a green hue. I'm also going to use that to highlight my face in just a little while. Okay, so now that that's on there, I'm going to go in with this Morphe palette again. There's a light green shade in it, and I'm going to use that to kind of contour. So I'm going to go in with it first on my small contouring brush, 512, Luxie 512, and I'm just going to start patting that in the hollows of my cheeks and kind of blending that out. And go to the other side, and this is just a base because I'm actually going to go in with a darker green as well. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Snazzaroo sponges. Actually, I'm going to put it in that green first. Mix a bunch of these greens together actually. Pat them up. And go in with a little Fix Plus, spray, get a little damp. And I'm going to kind of pat. And it's kind of leaving like a little texture. Or a little green texture to my forehead. This is really giving me that green look. I hope you can see that, and I hope that's showing up on camera because it looks like my brightness is way up. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of tilt this or squeeze the sponge, go in with that dark green, and just kind of pat it into my contour. And then the sponge is allowing it to kind of be diffused a little bit, like without having to ruin my beauty blender. Okay, so now that that green is kind of all laid down, I'm going to go back in with my highlighter shade, that green again, and I'm just going to dust that everywhere I would normally put highlighter. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with these little red gems, and I'm going to place them, oh, they're not small enough. I'm going to try and place them right in the centers of my eyes. So wish me luck. And they're already kind of sticky, so I'm hoping it stays. But if it doesn't, I have lash glue little bit. I'm going to go in with my leaves. I have some that are already pre-cut off the little branches, and I'm going to just start sticking them randomly with lash glue. Those need to sit about a minute or so. So I'm going to go ahead and put lipstick on, and I'm just going to go in with that same Jeffree Star Red Rum again and just apply it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Alright, so I'm going to try not to get any in your hair. I'm going to put a couple of leaves. And I like how it's kind of 3D. Okay, so I think that's enough leaves. I do like the red, but I kind of want to see what it would look like if I went over it with the green a little bit, the green highlighter. So I'm going to take a small fluffy brush and kind of just pat that on there. Kind of give it more of a like a flower, like I don't know what I'm talking about. Why are you even watching me anymore? That looks so cool. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go curl my hair. Make sure you set all your stuff in place. That is Fix Plus, but I needed it to melt all this makeup into my skin. So I'm going to go in, do some touch-up things, and curl my hair, and then I'll be back to show you how I do the hair. Okay, so as you can see, I've added a little bit of red. Now that, and I changed it to a black shirt. So now I'm going to go in with that sponge again. And I'm going to go in with that green. And I'm going to put this on my neck. And that looks good. So, I didn't want it just peeking through. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with that highlight again. I'm going to put it on my collarbones and just kind of touch on where we put that green just to really make it stand out. Right, and I think that is the finished look. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments, make sure to leave them down below. If you recreate this look, be sure to tag me on Instagram so I can see, because I would love to see your recreations. I think this turned out so cool. It's so out of my comfort zone, but I think it's so cool. So if you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you go, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!